The Wrigleyville neighborhood is still buzzing after the Cubs erased an 8-run deficit yesterday. What a game it was. 10-9 the final, and a beautiful day for Cubs baseball here on Comcast Sportsnet. It's game 3 of this series. The Cubs are perfect 5-0 to start this homestand. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Bob Brenly and Len Casper. The Cubs have been coming back the last 4 days. They have come back late in ball games to grab some wins.
Well, and it's no surprise to me, Len. I mean, with the offensive lineup that Lou Piniella can run out there on a given day, sometimes he has a 300 hitter in the 8th spot in the lineup. You see the last 4 games, they've been able to come back in every one of those ball games, and combine that with the fact that their most productive innings have been the 7th and 8th innings. They are always in a ball game.
And they did it yesterday without Terrio and Ramirez. And remember, Lee and Soto were removed. The guys who came in for them really did a great job. Pitching matchup today, Glendon Rush, the left-hander, is back here at Wrigley Field pitching for the Rockies, and Ryan Dempster continues to roll.
Glendon Rush had some struggles earlier this season with San Diego. He's had some physical problems in the past. It's a real feel-good story to see Glendon back on the mound, but unfortunately he's going to have to take a whipping today because Ryan Dempster is right on top of his game.
So coming up, Ryan Dempster tries to improve to 7-0 here in the friendly confines in 2008. Cubs baseball from Wrigley is next.
Hey, this is BJ Ryan.
Hey, this is Justin Morrill.
And all my games are live
and on demand.
on MLB.tv.
MLB.tv. MLB.tv.
MLB.tv.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Stay on top of all the NBA playoff action with Yahoo Sports. Watch thrilling up-to-the-minute highlights. Go behind the scenes.
If you have a chance to put a team away in a game, you got to do it, especially in the playoffs.
And get expert analysis.
This is a huge series right here because these are two teams that if they get by each other have a legitimate shot to win it all.
This spring, don't miss your shot to stay up to date with daily coverage of the NBA playoffs on Yahoo Sports.
Are giving out an Aramis Ramirez mini souvenir bat to the first 6,000 kids, 13 and under, and a couple of broadcasters in the TV booth. Courtesy of Jewel and Kellogg's.
A couple of older kids.
And the Cubs are perfect on the homestand. They won all 3 against the Dodgers. They've taken the first 2 in this set against the Rockies. Ramirez back in the lineup today along with Ryan Terrio. Ryan Dempster's on the mound. And let's check in on the Rockies Southwest starting lineup. He will face Willie Taveras. Will lead things off. Seth Smith's in right. Pelton hit a home run in the first inning yesterday. Spilborghs is in left. Ian Stewart had 3 hits on Friday, or on Thursday night rather. Iannetta the catcher. Baker at second. 4 doubles in game 2. Quintanilla the shortstop, and Glendon Rush the pitcher.
Take a quick look at the Rico Cubs defense. Soriano, Johnson, Pukudome across the outfield. Ramirez back in the lineup today. Ryan Terrio back in the lineup today. They'll man the left side. Yesterday's hero, Mark DeRosa at second base. Derek Lee over at first. Giovanni Soto doing the catching for right-hander Ryan Dempster. Ryan looking for his 7th victory of the season. The sparkling ERA just a shade over 2.5. He has been really good this year.
All of his wins have come here at home. Ramirez is in, so is Lee against Taveras. And the first pitch is called a strike by the home plate umpire, James Hoy. A wind and the 0-1. There's a fly ball to center field. This ball's slicing, and it'll be caught as Johnson turned the other way. The wind is going to push everything out towards right. So Hoy at the plate, O'Nora at first, the crew chief Crawford at second, Paul Nartz at third. As we meet our umpiring crew.
Now that wind blowing from the left field corner to the right field corner pretty briskly here today. Should affect just about everything hitting the air.
Seth Smith is playing right. He looks at strike one. Dempster started the homestand on Monday with an excellent 7-inning stint. Worked out of trouble more than once.
Oh, what a catch!
Nicely done, right near our broadcast booth.
One-handed.
She held on to her beverage.
Didn't spill a drop.
A little bit inside, 1-2.
You see his numbers against the Dodgers on Memorial Day. Scattered those 7 hits.
He gave up just 1 run. The leadoff man got on 4 of the 7 innings. This is Derek Lee with the flip to Dempster covering, and Smith is out. Beautiful day here on the north side. It is windy, but it's warm. 72 degrees, and the wind is out of the northwest. A magnanimous forecast.
Wow.
After the big spelling bee, we have to use a big word. Magnanimous. From magnus, meaning great, and animus, meaning spirit.
The Cubs had the great spirit with them yesterday. Improbable comeback in that ball game. One of the most exciting games we've had here at Wrigley Field in a long time.
Todd Helton playing first. Had to get out of the way of that pitch. 6 for 17 with 2 home runs versus Ryan Dempster. Cubs still with the best record in baseball. At 34-21. The Cardinals have won 3 straight, so they're still just a game and a half out. The Rockies are at the bottom of the National League West. They haven't lost any ground. They're 10 back of the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Rockies record 20-35, tied with Seattle's 20-35 for the worst mark in the major leagues, but they've actually gone 2-8 over their last 11 days, and they've picked up a half game in the standings. As you look at all the rankings for the Cubs in the National League, offensively just unbelievable. And their pitching staff now is second in the league in ERA as Helton takes the 2-out walk.
Well, Helton is the one guy in this Rockies lineup. Now, granted, anybody can hurt you with a bat in their hands, but Todd Helton historically has hit Ryan Dempster pretty good. 6 for 17, that's a .353 average, a couple of home runs, so Ryan pitched him very carefully. And now we'll go to work on Ryan Spilborn.
No Garrett Atkins in the Rockies lineup. He has been scuffling. He's 0 for his last 16, so Ian Stewart is starting at third. And he's on deck behind Spilborn. The kick and the 1-0 pitch. It drifts outside, and Soto's going to come out after Dempster's missed on a few now.
Sometimes you find yourself pitching around a hitter. I assume that's what Ryan was doing to Todd Helton. And then the next hitter, you have trouble getting back into the strike zone. So Giovanni Soto out there just to break up the rhythm a little bit, get back to work against the right-handed hitting Ryan Spilborn. He's had a nice series so far. Had 3 hits in the opener, had a home run yesterday. And there you see the splits for Ryan Dempster, home and road. The ERA outstanding on the road, but yet to win a ball game.
Needed that pitch after missing on 6 straight. 2-1. Spilborghs with that goatee going with the Reed Johnson look. 3-1.
He's got a little more of the, dare I say, the Billy Goat going, hanging off the bottom of the chin there.
And there's ball 4. Got to be careful today with lefties coming up with that wind really howling out to right. So a lot of home runs yesterday with the wind blowing basically straight out to center. The Rockies hit 3. And the Cubs hit 4. Big night Thursday night for Stewart. He had 3 hits, including a triple and an RBI double. He played second base that night, but he's a third baseman by trade, and he's back at the hot corner today. That's a hot corner right there in the sun. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Yesterday was one of those days on which nobody wanted to leave the park. It was a good 20 minutes or so after the ball game, and the place was still buzzing with excitement.
And rightfully so. I mentioned it before. That's one of the more exciting games I've ever seen here at Wrigley Field. I mean, you know, there are certain baseball purists that like to come out and see those 1-0, 2-1 games, but when the wind's blowing out at Wrigley Field, the fans yesterday got exactly what they expected. Some home runs from the home team late to win a ball game. Man, was that fun.
Well, nobody can really predict a win when you're down 8-0. But Iván de Jesus, who's a veteran of this ballpark, played here in the late 70s, early 80s. He said, I remember the 23-22 game. Said it felt a lot like that day. Give up 6, score 7. So Dempster in a bit of trouble here. He walked 2 after 2 were out. He is now 1-2 on Ian Stewart. Helton at second, Spilborghs at first. And there's a foul. Well, our friend up here almost had a shot at another foul ball. The woman in the Aramis Ramirez jersey missed that one by about 10 feet.
She's still got a vice grip on the one she caught.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Dempster gets out of it, and the Cubs will come up against a former teammate, left-hander Glendon Rush, when we come back to the friendly confines.
Voting is now open for the 2008 All-Star Game at Yankee Stadium. Use the ballot on MLB.com to watch video, compare stats, and vote up to 25 times.
Hey, this is Dustin Pedroia.
Hey, this is John Main.
All of my games are live and on demand on MLB.TV. On MLB.TV. MLB.TV.
MLB.TV.
Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Hey, this is Phil Hughes.
Hey, this is DJ Upton. And all my games are live on MLB.TV. Live and on demand on MLB.
So Soriano at the top. Ryan Theriot back in the lineup after having a great seat to watch that comeback yesterday. Derek Lee at first. Ramirez back in there. Soto catching. Kosuke hitting sixth against the lefty. And the bottom three, DeRosa, Johnson, and Dempster.
Quick look at the Rockies defensively. Spilborghs, Taveras, and Smith across the outfield. Stewart, Quintanilla, Baker, and Helton across the infield. Chris Iannetta doing the catching today for the former Cub, left-hander Glendon Rush.
You know Glendon likes to work fast. 1 ball, no strikes on Soriano. Those numbers were with the San Diego Padres, and they were all relief appearances. After Glendon took his release from the Padres, he signed a minor league contract with Colorado on May 17th. Made 2 starts for their AAA team, the Colorado Springs Sky Sox. Easy for me to say. Had a 0.82 earned run average with no decisions. That's pulled foul. And he's in the rotation spot, Jorge De La Rosa, who's now in the bullpen.
Well, unless Glendon is doing something differently now than when he was with the Cubs, he'll feature a fastball, a slider, a changeup. As you mentioned, Lynn, he likes to work quickly. This is his first start since July 9th of 06. And certainly a lot of these Cubs hitters played behind Glendon Rush and should have a real good idea what he's going to try to do to him.
Fly ball to right. And Seth Smith will make the catch for out number 1. To make room for Glendon on the roster, his contract was selected before the game. Left-hander Josh Newman was optioned to AAA Colorado Springs. So here's Ryan Theriot facing Glendon Rush for the first time. Fouled away to the right.
Some of the Cubs hitters with good numbers against Glendon Rush in the past. Mark DeRosa 5 for 7. That's a 714 batting average. Reed Johnson 2 for 3. Very limited number of at bats. Derek Lee hitting 391. Aramis Ramirez 281.
The comeback yesterday was one of the best in franchise history. According to our friend Ed Hardig, only twice previously in the long history of the Chicago Cubs had they overcome a lead of more than 8 runs. Both were 9-run comebacks. September 28, 1930 against the Reds, and August 29, 1989 versus Houston. And both games were here at Wrigley Field. That's low, 2-2. Elias says it's the 3rd time in Lou Pinella's managerial career that his team has won a game in which it trailed by 8 or more runs. Did it with the Yankees and the Mariners as well. There's a base hit rolled into right.
And if I remember correctly, Glendon Rush did not have a real good pickoff move to first base. He does unload the ball fairly quickly to home plate, but it's a guy that the Cubs could possibly try to run against. With the wind blowing out, you certainly don't want to run yourself out of an inning. But Chris Iannetta behind the dish today has only thrown out 1 of 16 attempted base stealers, so if you can pick the right pitch to run on, you should have good success today.
Slide step Fastball at 87 for a strike. Derek Lee with good numbers against his former teammate. 9 for 23 with 2 homers. That's outside, 1-1. The only other manager in Major League history, along now with Lou Piniella, with comeback wins from a deficit of at least 8 runs with 3 different teams. Bucky Harris did it twice with the Tigers and once each with the Yankees and the Phillies. And we were in Lou's office before the game talking about a couple of comeback games in his managerial career. One involved Roger Clemens in 1987. The Red Sox had a 9-0 lead after 2. In fact, going into the bottom of the 3rd at Yankee Stadium. And the Yankees came back with 11 in the 3rd inning. They won the ball game 12-11. But the big one I wanted to ask him about, actually, he was on the other end of it, is Mariners, the team that won 116 in 2001. Led at Cleveland 12-0 going to the bottom of the 4th, and 14-2 going to the last of the 7th, and the Indians won it in 11, 15-14.
Wild game.
So the Mariners actually could have won 117 that year. And when it's 14-2 in the 7th, game's over, right?
Yep. Call in the dogs. That's the great thing about the game of baseball. There's no clock. There's no time limit. As long as you've got at bats and outs left in a game, you still have a chance.
Smith was playing deep. He has to come in, and it's going to cost him. And again, the right fielders have to play back with the wind direction today, and that actually helped Eric.
Well, wind or no wind, Jeff Baker playing right field yesterday. Ryan Spielborg's in left and Tavares in center. In that ball game, all 3 were playing extremely deep all afternoon. And when you do that, occasionally these little floaters are going to drop in front. And some of that may have to do with where they play their home games. We talked a lot about Coors Field when we were there earlier this year. The outfielders have a tendency to play a lot deeper than usual because it is such a big ballpark and the ball carries so well.
I have more for you. The Cubs have now led in every game since May 9th. That's 21 in a row. Longest such streak since 1935 for this franchise. And they're a base hit away from taking the lead again today. Gives you a lot of confidence. We talked about it in the middle innings. The Cubs were down big. How unfamiliar that felt. Even the games the Cubs have lost here over the last month or so, they've been very tight ones. This time Smith will make the catch with Terrio tagging and heading to 3rd. 2 outs in the inning, and it'll bring up Giovanni Soto. Well, in case you missed it, here are all the big swings. How about Henry Blanco with his first home run in a couple of years, and Mark DeRosa with a go-ahead blast, and that ended up being the game winner.
As much excitement as we've seen in that Cubs dugout in a long time. They were really fired up with that comeback yesterday. Some very dangerous high fives.
Yeah, with those starting pitchers. I might be a little careful high-fiving Carlos Zambrano.
Well, he's decaffeinated now. It's not nearly as dangerous as it used to be.
And if you're Mike Fontenot, you just kind of wait and he pounds you on the top of your head. Good RBI lead by Soto among National League rookies. 37 coming in.
Glendon Rush is rarely going to come inside on those right-handed hitters. We've seen a lot of balls hit the right field already in this game. Soriano flied out to right. Ramirez flied out to right. Terrios hit came that way. And Derek Lee's little blooper base hit fell in shallow right field.
Busy inning for Smith. He slides and makes the catch, and then he just stumbled over the bullpen mound in right. A little bit of an embarrassing moment after a terrific catch, saving a run. Oops. After one, 0-0.
Hey, this is Victor Martinez.
Hey, this is AJ Burnett.
All my games are live and on demand on MLB.tv.
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 Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Even when you can't watch your favorite team, you can know what's happening with MLB.com's mobile team alerts, now including video alerts for your video-enabled phone. You'll get video highlights minutes after they happen, text messages on home runs, lead changes, and more. Everything you need to stay informed throughout the season for just $3.99 per month. Sign up now and pick your favorite team. Text MLB to 65246. For complete details, go to MLB.com/mobile.
You right here in the Bay, man. This is Pastor Mike. Gotta come correct on the mic. Let's get this thing started. Yeah.
It's a new generation, so Pastor Mike. Pepsi can't left me, better pass it right. I ain't tripping. We independent. We out the trunk, dog. And let me pass this mic. We gotta get it on.
Get on the mic with Mike Pass, only at Pepsi Smash on Yahoo Music.
Welcome to the new and improved MLB.com. Experience the game like never before with MLB.com's Game Day. Real-time pitch type and in-game video highlights moments after they happen. Have those same highlights sent straight to your video-enabled phone with MLB.com's mobile team alert. And if you can't get to the game, watch every out-of-market game this season live with high-quality streaming video exclusively on MLB.tv. Only on MLB.com, where baseball is always on.
Voting is now open for the 2008 All-Star Game at Yankee Stadium. Use the ballot on MLB.com to watch video, compare stats, and vote up to 25 times.
Are you an adrenaline junkie? At Grind TV on Yahoo Sports, you can submit your own videos or watch the pros in action. Check out the most outrageous, untamed, and awe-inspiring sports videos.
Run. But Seth Smith made an excellent sliding catch, robbing Giovanni Soto, and he tripped over the mound, and you're going to see that on rain delay blooper reels for the next 20 years.
Well, all Seth Smith cares about is that he made the catch. The rest of it is a little humbling, but what a great running, sliding catch by the Rockies right fielder.
And the catcher, Chris Iannetta, who had a double and a two-run homer yesterday, back in the lineup this afternoon. And facing Ryan Dempster for the first time. Lazy pop fly. DeRosa's out. He's not going to get there. Johnson lays out. Hey, caught it. And no bullpen mound to trip over after that catch out in right center.
Well, this guy is a human highlight reel. If that ball's put in play, he feels like he ought to catch it. That is not an easy play, looking up into the sun, the wind pushing the ball away from him. Boy, that is a nice catch.
Great camera work as well to get all the angles as Reed Johnson able to come in and rob Iannetta of a leadoff hit. Here's Jeff Baker. 4 knocks and 4 tries in game 2, and they were all doubles. It's a franchise record. He's the first major leaguer to have 4 doubles in a game since Matt Merton of the Cubs, as we check in on the Menards Big Lumber stat. Matt did it on August 3rd, 2006 versus Arizona. Two-two pitch way inside on a fastball.
4 doubles in one ball game. Well, I had a couple games in the big leagues where I had 2 doubles, and then after the game I had 2 more, but never 4 during one ball game.
I know where you're going with that. You had just 2 after the game?
Well, that's all I'm owning up to.
You just wanted to tie a record you didn't want to set.
Yeah. Tied a record held by many.
guessing actually 2 doubles after a game probably did not set a record.
No, not at
The
all.
4 combined may have.
It's a tough game even for the umpires. Brian O'Nora working at first base today as he hustled out there to get a look at that Seth Smith sliding catch. He pulled his left hamstring a little bit, talking it over with the rest of the umpires between innings.
Baker able to hold up, so 3 base runners. Hurts to make a safe call.
Well, hey, it's not going to get any better anytime soon. Second base umpire Jerry Crawford, the crew chief, is now going to go over and have a word with Brian O'Nora. I mean, the umpires don't just stand by their respective bases all day long in the same spot. We've seen it happen multiple times this year. We've seen it happen in this game already. They have to get out into the outfield to make calls. They cover for each other. There's a rotation. When one umpire goes to the outfield, the other guys rotate around. He's in some obvious pain out there.
So the crew chief, Jerry Crawford, wants O'Nora to get checked out by the Cubs head athletic trainer Mark O'Neill. And I wonder if they're going to go with a 3-man crew here, at least for the rest of this half inning. Crawford's now going over near first base, so I think we're going to continue on, and O'Nora will be attended to.
And once again, this is nothing unusual for the umpires. They work 3-man crews in spring training. They have contingency plans just in case one umpire goes down, so they're very well versed in what they have to do now, 1 man down.
A short-handed umpiring crew for the time being. Check out their penalty killing numbers. Oh, we had Paul Makita and Esposito in the booth yesterday for a little hockey. Strike 1 on Omar Quintanilla. He's the 8-hitter. Baker, the runner at first, 1 out in the inning. So anything down the left field line, fair or foul, will have to be called by the home plate umpire, James Hoy.
Now that's the most immediate adjustment. That's hopefully it won't come up to the point where James Hoy can't see a ball hit down the left field line, but he's got a pretty good view right down the stripe. Should be able to handle that duty with no problem.
Soto picks it up, throw to second, safe. Terrio starting to throw the ball around the horn. He was convinced he had tagged out Baker. It'll be a wild pitch charged to Dempster. That was a very close play. Call made by Paul Nart.
Good instinctive base running over there by Baker, and a great recovery by Giovanni Soto. Ooh. So close. Terrio with a good quick tag. The throw was up around the shoulders. He was able to go up and get it and brought that ball straight down in front of the base.
That is deep to right field, and on a day like this, no chance for the park to hold it. A 2-run homer for Quintanilla. That's his first. In fact, it's his first major league home run. He's had big league time every year since 2005, and in his 304th career at bat, he goes deep.
Our Belvedere home run replay. That ball's up above the belt, out over the plate. Quintanilla got good extension. Obviously not a home run hitter, but on a day like this, everybody's a home run hitter.
Glendon has 3 home runs, a career 153 hitter. Ontario ranging to his left, and he'll toss the lead for the second out. Well, you don't want to make a habit out of getting down early. You wouldn't say that ever, but it is early. The Cubs have shown a penchant for making the comeback late. They've done it the last 4 days.
You know, and as much as we talked about yesterday's ball game and the offensive fireworks, and certainly a lot of heroes on the offensive side of the game, but well, the bullpen did an outstanding job in relief of Ted Lilly yesterday. 3 2/3 innings by John Lieber. He did give up a couple of runs, but then Scott Air, Carlos Marmol, and Kerry Wood slammed the door on the Rockies to give the offense an opportunity to get back in the game.
And on a day like that, when you're down that big early, it's actually probably as important that you give your manager innings as it is you don't give up runs. As weird as it is to say that, the biggest key there is that Lou doesn't have to use everybody. And John Lieber had warmed up 3 times before he actually went into the game.
You don't mind going through a whole can of bullpen in a close ball game to win that game, but when you're down 8-0, you hate to think about going through a bunch of relief pitchers. So those 3 2/3 by John Lieber were huge yesterday.
And a nice birthday present for Scott Air. He turned 36 yesterday, recorded 1 out, happened to be the final out of the 7th, and he got the win. Taveras runs well, going to be a tough play for Terrio. Throw to first, safe. 2 close calls in this inning, both going the Rockies' way.
Nice play by Terrio on the move, tries to get as much on that throw as he possibly can, but Willie Taveras picks up his 14th infield hit already this season. Definitely have to keep an eye on him at first. 20 out of 21 this season in stolen bases. You see where he ranks with his infield hits. Hunter Pence, the Houston Astros speedy outfielder, with 16.
Seth Smith with 2 outs, and Dempster will keep a close eye on Willie Taveras. Ryan wanted to wish the Purple Hooters team the best today. His wife Jenny and others on the breast cancer walk. They're going to walk 26 miles today and 13 tomorrow to raise money for breast cancer research. So we hope they have a great day. I mean, a perfect weather day for it. Runner at first, 2 outs. The Rockies with a couple of runs on an Omar Quintanilla home run. The pitch outside, 2-0 the count. Also, Ted Lilly today hosted some folks from the East Village Youth Program and Inner City Impact. Met with them during BP. Well, there was no BP today, but before the game, and provided the kids with autographs and lunch. Nice going, Ted. Runner goes, lined and caught by Derek Lee. Stepped on first just for good measure. So the Cubs, I guess, got 4 outs in the inning. The Rockies got 2 on the home run. It's now 2-0.
Hey, this is Dustin Pedroia.
Hey, this is John Maine.
All of my games are live.
Live and on demand.
On MLB.tv.
On MLB.tv.
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 Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching.
MLB.tv.
Hey, this is Phil Hughes.
Hey, this is DJ Upton. And all my games are live on MLB.tv. Live and on demand on MLB.tv.
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 Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
James Shields. Hey, this is Victor Martinez. And all my games are live and on demand on MLB.tv. MLB.tv. On MLB.tv.
MLB.tv.
Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Go behind the scenes with your favorite artists at Pepsi Smash on Yahoo Music.
What up? This is Big Snoop Deal Double G, and you're watching another side of Snoop Dogg.
Hi, Mike. Fukudome fouls it back to the screen. Kosuke hitting 6th against the left-hander Rush. DeRosa and Johnson will also bat in this inning. Kosuke with his 3rd home run of the year yesterday. Kind of got lost in the shuffle. All 3 of his homers at home. He has gotten very comfortable in this ballpark. And it was really the first home run of the kind that you talk about. That good power to the opposite field. Glendon dropped down. That's a base hit through the hole on the left side. Leadoff single. 3 hits already for the Cubs. And we still have not seen Brian O'Nora back out on the field. Mark O'Neill came out to give the other umpires an update. So I'm not sure if O'Nora will return today or not. The way he was moving around, I'd be surprised.
No, and those things, hamstring injuries take a while to heal. I mean, like I was saying, umpires are very active on the field during the course of the game, and it was only going to aggravate it and make it worse.
Mark DeRosa is 5 for 7 with a triple against Glendon Rush. The 31-year-old lefty deals. There's a little pop up. Todd Helton will make the catch. Kosuke back to first. Time for the Coors Light freeze cam on the Mark DeRosa game-winning home run in the 7th. Got it up in the jet stream. And got it out. You talked about just taking the whole scene in.
Oh, man, I'm telling you. I think it's a genetic thing. Everybody raised their hands up over their head at the same time. This spine-chilling moment here at Wrigley yesterday.
And what a day for Jim Edmonds. By far his best offensive day as a Chicago Cub. Did make an error earlier. Led to 3 unearned runs, but he had 3 hits at the plate, including a 2-run double and a home run. But it's Reed Johnson back in center against the southpaw. 2 strikes on him. Cubs have gone 25-12 in the 37 starts made by Johnson. Oh-2, and he struck him out. The first punch out for Rush. And now he'll go after Dempster with 2 outs. Don't know what the pitch count is for Glendon, but as we saw earlier, all of his appearances with the Padres were in relief, and he only made 2 starts with the Rockies at AAA. So I would not expect him to go much more than 80 or 85 pitches. That's deep left center field for Ryan Dempster. It's going to get down, and the Cubs are going to get a run. Kosuke is going to come around and score. That is an RBI double for Ryan Dempster, his 2nd RBI of the year, his 6th career double, and his first since 2002. That ball was smoked.
We talked about the Cubs offense and their familiarity with Glendon Rush, and that certainly extends to Ryan Dempster. These 2 guys were very good friends when Glendon was with the Cubs, and Dempster remembers that Glendon likes to get ahead with that first pitch fastball, so Demps is all over it in that gap in left center field. May have gotten a little assistance from the wind pushing that ball away from Spielborgs as he was chasing it into the gap in left center, and Kosuke never broke stride, scored easily from first base.
So Dempster's now 2 for 13 in his career against Rush. Both hits have been doubles. 9th career RBI. And it's 2-1. The 0-1 to Soriano way out in front. Rush set at the belt. Big leg kick this time. High drive by Soriano, deep to right center. Ball getting pushed back by the wind. Gone! And the Cubs lead. They get 22 consecutive games with a lead for the Cubs. It's 3-2. I think Soriano's going to be a pretty good candidate for the player of the month in May.
A Belvedere home run replay. We talked about Glendon Rush working the righties away. Good thing is the Cubs have some right-handed hitters in this lineup with good opposite field power. Soriano demonstrated it right there.
That's his 12th home run. His 10th this month. He has 28 RBIs. As we sit here on the final day of May.
Boy, a perfect illustration of how important it is for a pitcher to be able to do some damage with the bat. With 2 outs in the inning, it would have been very easy for Ryan Dempster to make the last out of the inning. Soriano would have come off leading off the bottom half of the 3rd inning, but instead he comes to the plate in the 2nd with a runner on base and made the Rockies pay.
That's the place to hit him today. Both home runs have gone to right or right center. Quintanilla a straightaway right and Soriano to right center. Wide for ball 3, a full count on Ryan Theriot. Lee would hit next. The inning was kept alive by Ryan Dempster, who doubled in Fukudome with 2 outs. Ground ball, and it's Stewart going to his left. And that's the inning. Cubs get 3. Dempster with the RBI double. That was followed up by Soriano's 12th home run and the 10th he's hit in the 2nd month of the season. Cubs now lead 3-2.
Voting is now open for the 2008 All-Star Game at Yankee Stadium. Use the ballot on MLB.com to watch video, compare stats, and vote up to 25 times. Willie Mays, September 22nd, 1969, 600. Babe Ruth, August 21st, 1931, 600. Hank Aaron, April 27th, 1971, 600.
Ken Griffey Jr. Keep watching. Hey, this is Dustin Pedroia.
Hey, this is John Maine.
All of my games are live.
Live and on demand
on MLB.TV.
on MLB.TV.
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 Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Every fan's dream is a front row seat. With Nissan Live Sets on Yahoo Music, everyone's a VIP.
It means so much to me whenever I get on a stage and feel an audience's energy coming back at me and feeling that love, because that's what I love to give, is 150% of my energy and sharing what I love to do so passionately.
Experience Nissan live sets with artists like Christina Aguilera, Incubus, Beck, and more. Only on Yahoo Music. See you at the show.
Hey, this is Phil Hughes.
Hey, this is DJ Upton. And all my games are live on MLB.tv. Live and on demand on MLB.tv.
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 Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Every fan's dream is a front row seat. With Nissan live sets on Yahoo Music, everyone's a VIP.
A lot of people ask us, do you feel pressure to stay successful and this and that? And I don't think any of us have really ever indulged that external pressure at all. I think that we challenge each other.
Cast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Cubs games on demand, not available in all areas. A 1-0 pitch coming to Todd Helton. That's low, ball 2. Walks have been a problem early on for Ryan. Walked 2 in the first, and then in the second gave up the free pass to Baker, and that was followed up by the Quintanilla home run. I'll send out happy wedding anniversary wishes. A happy 10th to Jeff and Aaron Stone here at the ballpark today.
I'll tell you, Len, not only a full house here in the ballpark today, but every rooftop jammed to capacity. Mandatory attendance today.
Strike 2. And Dempster back in at 3-2. Happy belated 60th birthday to Cubs fan Jim Watts. Payoff pitch inside. That's a leadoff walk.
It'll be obvious in the early going that Ryan Dempster's just not going to allow Todd Helton to do much damage today. You don't like the leadoff walk, but as I mentioned before, he's the guy with good career numbers against Dempster and the guy that you definitely have to keep an eye on.
Spilborghs took a walk his first time. He sprays it foul off to the right. We got a nice letter from the family of Eileen Hahn. In parentheses it says Susie, so I'm imagining her family calls her Susie, but a couple of days ago she celebrated her 90th birthday. Happy 90th. Those are from Dixon, Illinois, and that got Spilborghs on the hand of the wrist. And Clint Hurdle, along with the head athletic trainer for the Rockies, heading out.
Take another look at it. Sinker up and in, just continue to run further in. Looked like it caught him on that left wrist. He goes down. Boy, the Rockies can ill afford to lose another player. I think when you see a hitter lead with his hands the way Spilborghs did right there, I mean, granted the pitch was up and in and it was moving further in, but he kind of turned into that ball and exposed those hands and wrists to that up and in pitch. That's always a great feeling after you get plunked on the hand with a 92-mile-an-hour sinker and the trainer comes out there and starts digging his thumb in there and asking you, does this hurt? Does this hurt? Does this hurt? Yeah, it all hurts.
It's like that's Scott Garrett, the Rockies' assistant athletic trainer.
And there's a series of tests they run to try to determine where the actual damage is. Is it a bone? Is it muscle? Is it tendon? Is it ligament? And apparently Ryan Spilborghs passed all the tests and is going to head on down to first base.
Here's Stewart. He struck out to end the opening inning. Rockies have 2 on with no outs. Could be another wild day here at the ballpark. 3-2 in the third. Wind blowing out to right. Outside ball one. Boats on the water.
Great weekend for whatever floats your boat.
And with a windy day like this, probably isn't going to take you as long as it might normally throughout on the lake to get to wherever you're going. And if you're going out there, be careful.
What a sight. Boy, we're blessed with that view every day that the weather permits. Nothing quite like the view we have from our booth here at Wrigley Field.
Inside corner, 1-2.
Cubs defensively shading Reed Johnson a few steps over into the gap in left center, leaving a huge hole out there in right center field. It's up to Ryan Dempster now to execute his pitches from the middle of the plate away and try to get Stewart to hit the ball into the teeth of his defense.
Swing and a miss. Went after the high fastball and couldn't get it. But he has struck out both times. And now a double play ball would get Dempster out of the inning.
Boy, talking about that slight shift in the outfield as you get a look at that elevated fastball for strike 3 to Stewart. Because Kosuke Fukudome has proven that he can cover an immense amount of territory in right center, straightaway right, and toward the foul line, it gives Reed Johnson the option of moving over a little bit in the gap in left center. You have to know the abilities and the talents and the boundaries of the players to your right and left, and with Kosuke Fukudome covering the ground that he does in right field, it frees up Reed Johnson to help out a little bit in left center.
The 1-0 to Iannetta. In there 1-1. Iannetta played collegiately at the University of North Carolina. He's from Providence, Rhode Island. Pitch. He'll go down to first, and he held up. That's Jerry Crawford. Two and two. Good slider. No hits in the inning. A walk and a hit batter. 3-2. Now, is it safe to say that there could be a pitch? We check out this last one. Maybe that pitch, or if you're throwing nothing but strikes, maybe you get it.
Maybe you get the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, if you prove to that home plate umpire that you can hit your spots consistently and you're around that strike zone consistently, you're more likely to get a borderline pitch.
Well, he struck out Stewart and Iannetta, and now a chance to get out of it as he faces Baker.
Good slider down low and away. Ball was never really in the strike zone. Started just off the plate and continued to move further away, but too tempting to lay off for Chris Iannetta.
Foul strike on Baker.
I think the biggest problem the outfielders are going to have here at Wrigley Field today is the way these clouds go over the field. Occasionally we'll be in the shade, and then all of a sudden the bright sunlight again, and then a cloud will go by and you'll be in the shade once again. Got to have your glasses with you all the time today. And this is a perfect day for the flip downs. Not many guys use them anymore, but that's what they were designed for. Days just like this.
Like a Bob Ross painting. Dempster's starting to miss some bats, making some big pitches here in the third with runners on base. A struggle for the Rockies with runners in scoring position. Here's the 1-2. Bounced foul. Looking way down the road today, we probably won't see Kerry Wood. He has worked in 4 of the last 5. It's very possible we could see Bob Howry in a save situation today. Marmol's been used a lot. Well, the good news is the Cubs have had those leads late. 2-2.
That's a real good news, bad news. The good news is we've got a lead late, and we're going to use Carlos Marmol and Kerry Wood. The bad news is you can't use them every day. They definitely want to make something happen on this 2-2 pitch. Don't want to run it full and get those runners in motion.
And it is 3-2. Dempster in his last start had to go through a plethora of undershirts and jerseys. They were soaked on a hot and humid day. And a warm one today in the sun. I'm sure he'll have to go through a few more. He's had to work hard. 3-2 of the runners going. Called strike 3. Baker knew it. Dempster walked the leadoff hitter. He hit the second guy, but then he struck out Stewart, Iannetta, and Baker to get out of it. Still 3-2 Cubs.
You right here in the Bay, man. This is Pastor Mike. Gotta come correct on the mic. Let's get this thing started.
It's a new generation, so Pastor Mike. Pepsi can't left me, better pass it right. I ain't tripping. We independent. We out the trunk, dog. And let me pass this mic. We gotta get it on.
Get on the mic with Mike Pass, only at Pepsi Smash on Yahoo Music.
Voting is now open for the 2008 All-Star Game at Yankee Stadium. Use the ballot on MLB.com to watch video, compare stats, and vote up to 25 times.
Hey, this is Dustin Pedroia.
Hey, this is John Maine.
All of my games are live. Live and on demand on MLB.tv. On MLB.tv. MLB.tv.
MLB.tv.
Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Derek Lee is 1 for 1 as he leads off the bottom of the third. All the runs coming in the second. Rockies with 2, the Cubs with 3.
You know, Len, with all the talk about the great comeback that the Cubs accomplished yesterday, we were talking and you asked me if I'd ever been involved in a game like that, and I vaguely remembered one, and I finally found it on the internet.
All right.
This was back in 1989, San Francisco Giants playing at Cincinnati. And we trailed in that ball game 8-0 going into the top half of the 7th. Scored 2 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, and 5 in the 9th against John Franco, Norm Charlton, and Rob Dibble to pull out a 9-8 victory.
Called third. Lee is out.
And that was a game very similar to yesterday where we fell behind early. Roger Craig pulled a lot of the starters out of the ball game and put a lot of the killer bees into the lineup, and it just wouldn't stop. Maybe on the outside corner to Derek Lee. Little backdoor breaking ball from Glendon Rush.
Were you a starter or one of the killer bees that day?
I was definitely a killer bee that day. I came in as a pinch hitter and stayed in and caught. Went 0 for 1, but did score a run in that game late.
The 0-1 pitch to Ramirez is outside. We want to welcome those viewers in Europe watching today on the North American Sports Network. Great to have you with us. To right, and that'll get down for Ramos. Going to kick off the sidewall to Smith. It's a double for Ramirez. That's his 15th double.
And once again, another Cub hitter just taking what Glendon Rush is offering. Iannetta set up inside. The pitch is out on the outer third of the plate, and Ramos lines it down that right field line. You have to love the approach by the Cubs hitter so far in this ball game, being willing to drive that ball to the opposite field if that's all Glendon Rush is going to give him.
Rush has spent time with the Kansas City Royals, the Mets, the Brewers, the Cubs, the Padres, and now the Rockies. This is his Colorado debut. In the air, Taveras tracking, still going back, and he can't get it. Right off the end of his glove. Ramirez will score 4-2. Now we know Willie Taveras can really run, but he wasn't going all out. I think he thought he was going to catch that ball fairly routinely, and it got off the end of the leather, and that'll be a double for Soto.
Well, there are a lot of ballparks in Major League Baseball. You can cruise on a high fly ball like that, but not at Wrigley with the wind blowing. You better go as hard as you can to get where you think that ball is going to come down and then be ready to make adjustments at the end of the play. That time Taveras just tried to time that fly ball and get there just in time to make the catch, and the wind just continued to push it further and further away from him.
I knew there was something different about Kosuke. He has a looks like a white wristband on his left forearm.
I'm not sure if the rule has changed, but players used to be prohibited from wearing white wristbands or white tape on your wrist area, especially outfielders, because of the confusion that it might create coming in for a diving play. The ball's white, the wristband's white, and sometimes it's hard for an umpire to see.
He looked like that left hand was stung a little bit on that swing. Runner at third with 2 outs. 2 balls, no strikes. Outside corner, 2-1. Make it 2-2. Cubs have added a run, back-to-back doubles here in the third. Had at least 2 hits in each inning against Rush. Strikes out DeRosa, and that'll end the inning. Soto with his 38th RBI, and the lead is now 2. It's 4-2 Cubs.
Hey, this is Phil Hughes.
Hey, this is DJ Rockies. And all my games are live on MLB.tv. Live and on demand on MLB.tv.
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 Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Hey, this is James Fields. Hey, this is Victor Martinez. And all my games are live and on demand on MLB.tv. MLB.tv. On MLB.tv.
MLB.tv.
Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Hey, this is BJ Ron.
Hey, this is Justin Morrill.
And all my games are live
Live and on demand
on MLB.tv.
MLB.tv. MLB.tv.
MLB.tv.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Mike Schmidt, April 18th, 1987, 500. Ernie Banks, May 12th.
Since 1900, or the modern era, what is the Cubs' record for most wins at home in a single season? Cubs coming in at 24-8. They lead today 4-2, trying to improve to 6-0 on this week-long stay. And a big stretch of road games coming up. After tomorrow, 23 of the next 32 will be on the road. Swung on and missed by Quintanilla, who hit his first career homer his last time up. So between June 2nd and July 6th, the Cubs will only have 9 home dates.
Now that White Sox Interleague Series dropped in there at the end of June, and will end up like a 10-day homestand, 2 weekends spent at home here, even though the games will be played across town at the Cell.
Two the count. Well, July is light as far as home games are concerned, just 2 homestands. One is 6 games, the other 4. Foul tip, strikeout. That's 4 straight strikeouts for Dempster, 5 overall. There's the Menards grounds crew. Scott Swenson, a contest winner from Hoffman Estates, Illinois. Got a chance to join the grounds crew today. In the final month of September, the Cubs are home for the first 3 days of that month. Right back to Dempster, so he'll throw out his counterpart, Lyndon Rush. Nicely done. And then they have 6 games in the middle of the month. Everything else is on the road, including the final 7 at Shea Stadium in Milwaukee. August is a heavy home month. A lot like April and May.
I think we'll have some steamy days here at Wrigley in August.
Yes.
Ooh, bet on.
Two outs in the inning. Strike 1 on Taveras. This is the only game going on right now in the majors. Everything else is later. play for Lee and company. Big game-ending home run by former Cub Cliff Floyd against the White Sox last night at Tampa Bay. The Rays are a game ahead of the Boston Red Sox in the American League East. The White Sox lead the Twins by 2 in the Central. The Angels pacing the West by 2.5 over Oakland. The Phillies have jumped into first in the National League East, winners of 5 straight. While the Marlins have dropped 3 in a row, and they're now a half game out. We mentioned the Cubs are a game and a half up on St. Louis, and Arizona maintaining just a 2.5 game lead over the Dodgers. Diamondbacks are now just 5 over 500. For a long time, they had the best record in baseball.
They've lost 5 in a row and won 2 of their last 10 games. They've had some key members of that lineup struggling at the plate recently.
Another tough play. Nicely done by Ramirez to get Willie Taveras. Dempster needed that inning. He's thrown a lot of pitches early on. It's 4-2 Cubs.
I'm Ashley Russell. Join me each day for a daily dose of top sports news. With scores, polls, and the latest highlights, the Yahoo Sports Minute keeps you up to date and in the know in no time flat. Watch the Yahoo Sports Minute each day on Yahoo Sports.
Willie Mays, September 22nd, 1969, 600. Babe Ruth, August 21st, 1931, 600. Hank Aaron, April 27th, 1971, 600.
King Griffey Jr. Keep watching.
Hey, this is Victor Martinez.
Hey, this is AJ Burnett.
All my games are live and on demand on MLB.tv.
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 Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Every fan's dream is a front row seat. With Nissan live sets on Yahoo Music, everyone's a VIP.
It means so much to me whenever I get on a stage and feel an audience's energy coming back at me and feeling that love, because that's what I love to give, is 150% of my energy and sharing what I love to do so passionately.
Experience Nissan live sets with artists like Christina Aguilera, Incubus, Beck, and more. Only on Yahoo Music. See you at the show.
You right here in the Bay, man. This is Pastor Mike. Gotta come correct on the mic. Let's get this thing started. Yeah.
It's a new generation, so pass the mic. Pepsi can't left me, better pass it right. I ain't tripping, we independent.
What's the Cubs' record for most home wins in a season? 58 back in 1910. Cubs with 24 already, best home start since 1977. And they've won 19 of their last 23. We have an update on umpire Brian O'Nora. He has headed to Northwestern Memorial Hospital to get an MRI. And it looked like he tweaked his hamstring. That's hit very well, and Taveras won't catch this one. Johnson will end up at second base, and Taveras did not go after that ball that got lost in the ivy. That's the second one in 2 days. Hoffpower hit one into the ivy yesterday.
Well, that ball-eating ivy monster out there starting to gobble up game balls. Reed Johnson with a rocket shot to that gap in right center. No cruising that time for Willie Taveras. He was on his horse but could not catch up to it. This one more of a line drive. Splits that gap, and where'd it go?
The ball may go in, but it may never come out. That's a called strike on Dempster, who already has laid down 7 sacrifices. Bunted towards third. Nicely done. Nowhere to go for Stewart but first base.
Well, that's about as good as you can do it right there. Ryan Dempster keeps that bat level throughout the at-bat, uses his legs to drop the bat down on top of the baseball, deadens it down that third base line exactly the way you draw it up.
He's back in a tie for the major league lead with Jeff Francis of these Rockies with 8 sack hits. Soriano now has already hit another go-ahead home run, and he's going to knock in his 3rd run of the day to make it 5-2 as Johnson scores.
Another pitch away. You can see Iannetta reaching across his body out off of the outside corner, and another Cubs hitter that just goes with the pitch to right field for a base hit. I love the approach today. They had a real good idea going into this game what Glendon Rush was going to try to do, and they've taken away that outside corner and turned it into some base hits and runs.
Continue to press the issue, multiple hits in every inning, and now runs in each of the last 3. The 0-1 to Terrio, now 0-2. Congratulations to Laura Cleason and Adam Bronars on their engagement today. It took place here at the ballpark. I guess Adam had been planning on proposing here at Wrigley Field for a long time. He finally did it, and thankfully Laura said yes.
What was the gentleman's name again?
Adam Bronars.
All right, Adam, you know the drill. Practice this phrase. Yes, dear, you're right. I'm sorry. May not seem important now, but it will in the future, believe me.
Two pitch, ground ball. They'll get it out at second base, relay throw, not in time. Tough turn there because Baker was ranging away from second base as he got that ground ball, and Quintanilla could not turn it.
Always a much tougher double play to turn 4-6-3 because that second baseman, as you said, had to move to his left to get the ball and then turn his body all the way back around to the right to feed his shortstop. And with Ryan Terrio's speed, he'll beat that relay throw to first every time.
I feel like Juan Epstein from Welcome Back, Kotter, but I got a note. Elias says the last time the Cubs began June, which they will do this year, with the best record in baseball, was 1908. How about that? No matter what happens today, the Cubs will at least be tied for the best record going into June 1st. In 1908, the last time the Cubs won the World Series, they were 23-13.
Coincidence? I think not.
Saw the Anno Catuli sign. A couple of zeros at the front end. The Cubs won the division last year. And 62 going back to the last pennant. And the 99 at the end going back to the last World Series championship. Cubs would love to have all those numbers be zeros next year. Little dribbler picked up on the barehanded play by Stewart, and he gets Derek Lee, and that's the inning. The Cubs, however, add on We've been doing that so well here in 2008. Soriano with his third RBI of the day, and it's now 5-2.
Hey, this is Victor Martinez.
Hey, this is AJ Burnett.
All my games are live and on demand on MLB.tv.
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 Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching.
You right here in the Bay, man. This is Pastor Mike. Gotta come correct on the mic. Let's get this thing started. Yeah.
It's a new generation, so pass the mic. Pepsi can't left me, better pass it right. I ain't tripping, we independent. We out the trunk, dog, and let me pass this mic. We gotta get it on.
Get on the mic with Mic Pass, only at Pepsi Smash on Yahoo Music.
Voting is now open for the 2008 All-Star Game at Yankee Stadium. Use the ballot on MLB.com to watch video, compare stats, and vote up to 25 times.
See a Cubs game from the best seats at Wrigley Field? Check out StubHub at www.cubs.com, where baseball is always on.
Nice play by Terrio. That hop handcuffed him a little bit, but he throws out Seth Smith. You like to see Dempster get quick outs.
Nice adjustment at the end of that play by Ryan Terrio. Infielders are taught low to high with your glove. Start low. You can always make an adjustment up if that ball makes a bad hop. You start with your glove up and the ball stays down. It's very tough to get down there quickly enough to knock it down.
1 ball, no strikes on Todd Helton. Dempster with at least 20 pitches in each of the first 3 frames, 12 in the 4th. So he needs to get more efficient if he's going to go really deep in this ball game. Soriano's going to watch that one go, and I think it might have gotten out. It's a home run. A fan got his or her hands on it, and then it went back onto the field. I don't know if Lou will come out and argue, but it was called a home run. Helton with his 6th and his 2nd in 2 days.
Well, I believe Lou wouldn't come out to argue that unless he saw his outfielders complaining. Obviously, Alfonso Soriano, Reed Johnson were the 2 closest Cubs to the play, and neither one of them raised a ruckus. So it goes down as a solo home run to the opposite field by Todd Helton. Another Belvedere home run replay. We've seen a bunch of those already in this series. Yeah, that ball hits a fan's hand just above the yellow stripe out there that runs along the top of the basket.
Swing and a miss on a slider by Spilborghs. So it's now 5-3. Bounding ball foul. That's Mike Gallego, the third base coach for the Rockies. A former Cub over at first base, Glenn Allen Hill.
Apparently before the Thursday night game, some of the younger members of the Rockies team, when they came out of that first base visitors dugout, looked up to the rooftop across the street and couldn't believe that Glenn Allen Hill actually hit a ball up there. But he did.
Yes, he did. And he was chatting in the pregame with his former Yankee teammate Alfonso Soriano. They were together back in 2000 after Hill was traded to the Yankees by the Cubs midseason. Spielborg strikeout, the 6th on the day for Dempster. And he begins this at bat, strike 1 on Stewart, who was already fanned 2 times. In a way, Ryan Dempster's facing his hometown team today. He makes his offseason home in the Denver area. Originally from British Columbia, Canada, from Gibsons. High fastball, Stewart just able to get a piece. The next 0-2 is outside. Soto gives him the sign. Here he comes again. Swing and a miss. Dempster has walked 4 and hit a batter today, but now has 7 strikeouts. Helton with a home run makes it 5-3 Cubs.
Hey, this is Phil Hughes.
Hey, this is DJ Upton. And all my games are live on MLB.tv. Live and on demand on MLB.tv.
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 Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Hey, this is James Shields.
Hey, this is Victor Martinez.
And all my games are live and on demand
On MLB.tv. MLB.tv.
on MLB.tv.
MLB.tv.
Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Hey, this is BJ Ryan.
Hey, this is Justin Morrill.
And all my games are live
And on demand
on MLB.tv.
MLB.tv. MLB.tv.
MLB.tv.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Another lead today, so it's been almost a month now where the Cubs have had a lead in every ball game. Ryan Dempster today, his command's been a little bit off, but he seems to be getting stronger.
I think you call it effectively wild. His stuff is very good today. He has so much movement, it's hard to keep it in the strike zone, but when he has been in the strike zone, the Rockies have not made a lot of solid contact against him.
The 2-0 pitch to Ramirez is outside. 3-0 on the Cubs cleanup man. And because of that pitch count, Michael Wirtz is up in the Cubs bullpen. 93 pitches through 5 as Ramirez walks. And on the other side of things, Glendon Rush may be nearing the end as well. Bob Apodaca, the pitching coach, is going to head out. think Glendon may have been with Milwaukee when Bob Apodaca was the pitching coach there. So some action up in their bullpen. Alberto Arias.
I just keep coming back to how impressive this offensive approach has been today. When you face a guy like Glendon Rush, who's not overpowering with his fastball, throws a lot of off-speed pitches, tends to miss up in the strike zone quite a bit, it's almost human nature to want to go up there and try to pull the ball out of the ballpark. But for the most part, the Cubs have stayed away from that, content to drive the ball to the opposite field, use that hole on the right side of the infield, and split that gap in right center.
A 1-0 pitch to Soto. That's a strike, 1-1. As I look now, Apodaca and Rush just missed one another in Milwaukee. So many connections in this game. It's like every team we play, you sit here and go, there are 2 or 3 former Cubs. Oh, this guy played for that team. This guy coached this guy here.
They played winter ball together,
Yep.
played college ball together.
They work out together in the winter. You hear that one a lot too.
Before Brad Hopp went on the disabled list with the Rockies, we had the LSU connection with Fontenot and Theriot and Brad Hopp all playing on that national championship team at LSU.
Swing and a miss. Gio lost the handle on that bat. So 1 out in the inning. Rough day for Ted Lilly yesterday. One of his pitches were up. It was a bad day to have pitches get up. He's now given up 5 home runs over his last 2 starts. But the Cubs won the game yesterday, so that's the most important thing.
The biggest concern for Ted Lilly yesterday was the fact his velocity was down considerably over his last couple of starts. I'm not sure if it was by design, trying to take advantage of an aggressive Rockies offense, or whether he just didn't have his good fastball yesterday.
One, the Kosuke, a fly ball deep to left, but it'll be caught by Spilborghs. 2 away, and it's Mark DeRosa, who is 0 for 2. Tim Meadows from Saturday Night Live fame will join us a little later for our 7th inning stretch.
Ladies man.
The ladies man, and I don't know if he'll do some impressions or not when he comes up here, but he's done some good ones. Sammy Davis Jr. among them, as Clint Hurdle is going to go to his bullpen. So that's it for the former Cub Glendon Rush. Heineken called to the pen. We're in the 5th. It's 5-3 Cubs.
Hey, this is Phil Hughes.
Hey, this is BJ Upton. And all my games are live on MLB.tv. Live and on demand on MLB.tv.
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 Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Hey, this is Curtis Grant.
Hey, this is Adam Dunn. Check out the shop on MLB.com.
Check out the shop on MLB.com.
For all your Dodger gear.
For all your Red Sox gear.
All your Yankees gear.
All your Blue Jay gear.
Your Cincinnati Reds gear.
For all your Twins gear.
Visit the official online shop of Major League Baseball at MLB.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic team gear, including clubhouse caps and t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop the MLB.com shop today.
I'm Ashley Russell. Join me each day for a daily dose of top sports news. With scores, polls, and the latest highlights, the Yahoo Sports Minute keeps you up to date and in the know in no time flat. Watch the Yahoo Sports Minute each day on Yahoo Sports.
Coming back from the blood clot in his lung a couple of Septembers ago when he was a member of the Cubs, and this was the first time he had returned to Wrigley Field. He missed all of last year, and now with his second team here in 2008. London left down 5-3. And a 1-0 count now on Mark DeRosa. Runner at first, Ramirez, 2 outs in the 5th. Hit hard on one hop. Stewart gets it and throws to second, covered by Baker, and the inning is over. Cubs lead this one. It's game 3 of a 4-game set, 5-3 after 5.
Hey, this is BJ Ryan.
Hey, this is Justin Morneau.
And all my games are live
And on demand.
on MLB.tv.
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 Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Even when you can't watch your favorite team, you can know what's happening with MLB.com's mobile team alerts, now including video alerts for your video-enabled phone. You'll get video highlights minutes after they happen, text messages on home runs, lead changes, and more. Everything you need to stay informed throughout the season for just $3.99 per month. Sign up now and pick your favorite team. Text MLB to 65246. For complete details, go to MLB.com/mobile.
I'm Ashley Russell. Join me each day for a daily dose of top sports news. With scores, polls, and the latest highlights, the Yahoo Sports Minute keeps you up to date and in the know in no time flat. Watch the Yahoo Sports Minute each day on Yahoo Sports.
Welcome to the new and improved MLB.com. Experience the game like never before with MLB.com's Game Day. Real-time pitch type and in-game video highlights moments after they happen. Have those same highlights sent straight to your video-enabled phone with MLB.com's mobile team alert. And if you can't get to the game, watch every out-of-market game this season live with high-quality streaming video exclusively on MLB.tv. Only on MLB.com, where baseball is always on.
Hey, this is Victor Martinez.
Hey, this is AJ Burnett.
All my games are live and on demand on MLB.tv.
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 Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Are you an adrenaline junkie? At Grind TV on Yahoo Sports, you can submit your own videos or watch the pros in action. Check out the most outrageous, untamed, and awe-inspiring sports videos on the web, surfing, skateboarding, motocross, and so much more. For the sickest action.
Fontenot will bat 9th, and Wirtz will hit in that 7th spot. Ryan Dempster went the minimum required to get a win as a starter. 5 innings, he threw 93 pitches over those 5 innings. And he has a chance with a win today to improve to 7-0 at Wrigley Field. 1 strike on the catcher, Iannetta. Ryan continues to limit the other team's hits. They only had 3 hits in the 5 innings, so his opponent's batting average at 188.
And you mentioned Ryan Dempster last time out on a hot, muggy day here at Wrigley threw 117 pitches in 7 innings against the Dodgers. That was the 7th straight start for Demps, over 100 pitches. So Lou Piniella taking the opportunity here to pull the plug maybe a little bit earlier than he normally would.
His ERA went up just a little bit, 2.56. Slider missed to 2.75. He came in 4th in the National League in earned run average. Carlos Zambrano is third. Tim Lincecum just ahead of him. And Edinson Volquez leading the National League at 146. So Glendon Rush back on the Rockies bench. He would be on the hook for the loss. They can't at least come back and tie it. Volquez, by the way, leads the majors in ERA at 146. Cliff Lee of the Cleveland Indians at 188. The only two guys in the ones. One of those rare trades, Bob, in which both teams are very happy. The Rangers and the Reds, Volquez and Hamilton. Josh Hamilton, an MVP candidate over in the American League. Check swing, strikeout. So Wirtz gets Iannetta. Well, you mentioned the Glen Allen Hill home run across Waveland. That was Steve Woodard of the Milwaukee Brewers in 2000. Look at the rooftop. Look at the wind.
Boy, he had such a quick bat through the strike zone. Very short, abbreviated follow through. It's hard to believe he could generate that much power with that quick of a swing, but he was one of the best batting practice hitters I ever saw. He would put on a show every day, hitting balls out of sight.
Wirtz will underhand to Lee. They get Baker.
Glen Allen Hill was always a lot of fun to be around. He could come up with some sayings that just boggled the mind. I think I've told the story in the past. He got picked off base one time and came back to the dugout. I was coaching with the Giants. Dusty Baker was the manager, and Dusty asked him, "What happened, G?" He said, "Dusty, man, sometimes you just got to rake your own leaves," and walked away. Left us all standing there scratching our heads wondering, what in the world does that mean? Sometimes you just got to rake your own leaves.
Well, that 2000 season, when he was traded from the Cubs to the Yankees, he ended up getting a World Series ring. One and one on Quintanilla. Well, he only went 5. Makes it 10 of the 12 starts for Ryan Dempster in which he allowed 3 or fewer earned runs. Fontenot to Lee. Wirtz goes 1-2-3 in the Rockies' 6th. Cubs lead this one by 2.
You right here in the Bay, man. This is Pastor Mike. Gotta come correct on the mic. Let's get this thing started. Yeah.
It's a new generation, so Pastor Mike. Pepsi King left me, better pass it right. I ain't tripping. We independent. We out the trunk, dog. And let me pass this mic. We gotta get it on.
Get on the mic with Mike Pass, only at Pepsi Smash on Yahoo Music.
Stay on top of all the NBA playoff action with Yahoo Sports. Watch thrilling up-to-the-minute highlights. Go behind the scenes.
You have a chance to put a team away in a game, you got to do it, especially in the playoffs.
And get expert analysis.
This is a huge series right here because these are two teams that if they get by each other have a legitimate shot to win it all.
This spring, don't miss your shot to stay up to date with daily coverage of the NBA playoffs on Yahoo Sports.
Voting is now open for the 2008 All-Star Game at Yankee Stadium. Use the ballot on MLB.com to watch video, compare stats, and vote up to 25 times.
Hey, this is Curtis Grant.
Hey, this is Adam Dunn. Check out the shop on MLB.com.
Check out the shop on MLB.com.
For all your Dodger gear. For all your Red Sox gear.
All your Yankees gear.
For all your Blue Jay gear.
Your Cincinnati Reds gear.
For all your Twins gear.
Visit the official online shop of Major League Baseball at MLB.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic team gear, including clubhouse caps and t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop the MLB.com shop today.
Hey, this is Dustin Pedroia.
Hey, this is John Main.
All of my games are live.
Live and on demand on MLB.tv. On MLB.tv.
MLB.tv. MLB.tv.
Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Good evening, citizens of baseball. The baseball youth movement, or U-Move, has gained significant momentum with the emergence of stars so young they barely recall Star Wars, The Return of the Jedi. There is no avoiding this brave new world. We can only embrace it by watching.
Home plate umpire James Hoy had to go back to Clint Hurdle to get all the changes down. Corey Sullivan's in left. Jonathan Herrera's at second. I don't know if those are straight up or not. Hoy went over to inform the Cubs dugout. At any rate, Reed Johnson leads off the bottom of the sixth. Ball one.
Yeah, normally if the changes are straight up, the manager doesn't even have to leave the dugout. You just get the umpire's attention, you point to the positions, and then just wave your hand straight up and down, which indicates all the changes are straight up. Whatever player you replace, you hit in that spot in the lineup. Occasionally you'll have to flip-flop them in the lineup for whatever reason, and at that point the umpire usually goes over and tells the other manager where everybody's hitting in the lineup.
And now we're informed that they are straight up. 3-0. He started to write in Herrera for spillboards, as you were explaining. I would have agreed with you. Three and one. The pitch. Tapped at the plate. 3-2. We'll see how Lou pieces it together in the bullpen today. Neil Kotz is up.
Well, the Cubs have a pitcher warming up in their bullpen. The Rockies had a catcher warming up. Yorvit Torrealba went down to play some catch with the bullpen catcher.
Gloved by Quintanilla. Quick throw. 1 out.
You see Torrealba, number 8, went down there to play catch with the bullpen catcher, probably indicating he's going to find his way into this ball game somehow. Rockies' pitcher spot is due up first in the top half of the 7th inning.
Bob, there's a bachelor party here today. The Chris Oblak bachelor party. I'm sure they're having fun.
Yeah. It wouldn't hurt Chris to go ahead and start practicing either. No. Yes, dear. You're right. What? I'm sorry.
But isn't a bachelor party that moment where that's probably not what you want to think about?
Oh, no. But you probably should think about it.
1-1. Two and one. The Joe Puentes bachelor party located out in left field today, so at least a couple. Fly ball out that way. Sullivan on the move. He won't get there in time. It's a double for Mike. Remember the big two-base hit he had against the Dodgers the other night. Off the bench. That was Wednesday night in the 10th, and he scored the winning run on the Soriano base hit.
It's tough for a guy like Mike Fontenot to keep his swing sharp, playing sporadically, coming in as part of a double switch from time to time. Has some pinch hit at bats, but really driving that ball well to the opposite field lately.
It's really amazing that this entire lineup has given the opposing pitcher fits all year. Great at bats, lots of power. Cubs have taken a ton of walks. They lead the majors in runs. They lead the big leagues in on base percentage. They're third among all 30 teams in slugging. just remarkable. Swing and a miss. So Soriano on that very impressive list. So he needs another home run today to tie Sammy for second on that list. Home runs in May for the Cubs. Sammy with 5 of the top 7 spots. Arias with the 0-1 pitch, a swing and a miss, and a breaking ball. 0-2. Big congratulations to our good friend Kamer Zaman, who graduated from Columbia College. A terrific young broadcaster, former member of the Cubs organization, worked as an usher, crowd management. Kamer also turned 22 11 days ago. So Kamer, congratulations and best of luck. That's deep right center, and who's going to catch it? Collision out there. It is caught by the right fielder Seth Smith as he banged into Taveras. Fontenot tagged to third on the play, 2 outs.
Another deep drive to right center field. You can see the collision out there. But Taveras is the captain of the outfielders. The center fielder usually calls off the corner outfielders if he thinks he has a play on the ball, but that time Seth Smith calling for it as well. But at some point, as that corner outfielder, you have to give way and let that center fielder know, take it, take it, take it. Protecting that logo on the front of the hat there.
Ball 1 on Ryan Theriot. There's a familiar look around baseball. The shades on the top of the cap. Alfonso Soriano wears the flip downs. Felix P.A. does. Not a lot of guys do. Instead of the flip downs, they just put the regular shades on the bill of their cap. Nice diving stop. Stewart from the seat of his pants with a terrific throw. And he didn't lose his glasses either. That saved a run. Still 5-3 Cubs.
I'm Ashley Russell. Join me each day for a daily dose of top sports news. With scores, polls, and the latest highlights, the Yahoo Sports Minute keeps you up to date and in the know in no time flat. Watch the Yahoo Sports Minute each day on Yahoo Sports.
Hey, this is Victor Martinez.
Hey, this is AJ Burnett.
All my games are live and on demand on MLB.tv.
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 Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching.
You right here in the Bay, man. This is Pastor Mike. Gotta come correct on the mic. Let's get this thing started. Yeah.
It's a new generation, so pass the mic. Pepsi can't left me, better pass it right. I ain't tripping, we independent. We out the trunk, dog, and let me pass this mic. We gotta get it on.
Get on the mic with Mike Pass, only at Pepsi Smash on Yahoo Music.
Mike Schmidt, April 18th, 1987, 500. Ernie Banks, May 12th, 1970, 500. Harmon Killebrew, August 10th, 1971, 500. Willie McCovey.
West for a showdown with Brian Giles and the Padres in San Diego. Coverage starts with Lexus Cubs pregame live. Then it's the Cubs and the Pods Monday night, 8:30 for the pregame time right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Clint Hurdle is going to go with Scott Pasednik pinch hitting for the pitcher Arias. And after that move was made, Lou came out and got Michael Wirtz and has replaced him with Neil Kotz, a left-hander. So it'll be lefty against lefty to start the seventh. Kotz just started to warm up. Want to get real-time video highlights of your favorite team sent straight to your phone? Text Cubs Alerts to MLB Go. That's 65246 on your AT&T wireless phone and sign up for video alerts.
Both managers pushing some buttons here. Clint Hurdle sending up his best leadoff candidate to pinch hit for that pitcher spot. Lou countering with a left-handed pitcher against Pasednik. Scott Pasednik, a .273 hitter against right-handed pitching, 0 for 7 this year against lefties.
So the numbers for Kotz at AAA. Was very surprised to learn of his call-up Wednesday night. He received the call while he was having dinner. He was obviously very excited to be back in the big leagues. And this is his second appearance.
We heard him talking to Josh Morey yesterday before the ball game about throwing more quality strikes. Felt he got into some trouble in the past trying to be too fine. He just wants to be more aggressive in the strike zone and make good pitches.
Came in the sixth with the bases loaded on Thursday. Gave up a game-tying 2-run single to Taveras, who's on deck.
It's a little deceiving. He actually made a pretty good pitch on Willie Taveras, and he just kind of sliced it down the first baseline, just off the tip of the webbing of Derek Lee's glove.
He was charged with a blown save after that hit, even though the runs went on Jason Marquis' tab. Three and one on Pasednik. If he gets on, the Rockies will bring the tying run to the plate. That one scooted Ontario. And it gets Pasednik.
It's about as good as you can possibly do it for Ian Stewart. Not only does he throw from the seat of his pants, he gets something on that throw. Held high rocket across the infield from a seated position.
Come on, you did that once a week with the Giants.
I might have done that once in my life.
One and one on Taveras.
They wouldn't let me play third base once a week.
Of the other two spots you played, which did you like more, third or first?
I actually like third base better. I didn't feel like I was a very good natural first baseman. There's a lot of subtleties to the game over there at first base, and guys like Derek Lee and Lance Berkman that play that position regularly, they make it look easy, but it isn't that easy.
Kosuke with a catch.
Well, I played a lot more third base in the minor leagues. I had 4 seasons where I was an everyday third baseman, so I felt much more comfortable at third, even though you'd never guess it by the way I played.
Tim Meadows coming up with our 7th inning stretch after the 3rd out is recorded. Lefty versus lefty here. Kotz picks it up. Seth Smith is out. Time to sing the stretch.
Today's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ballgame, actor Tim Meadows.
All right, fans, let me hear ya. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me
piece of peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back. We just root for the Rockies. If they don't win.
This is James Shields.
Hey, this is Victor Martinez.
And all my games are live and on demand on MLB.tv. MLB.tv.
On MLB.tv.
MLB.tv.
Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Hey, this is BJ Ryan.
Hey, this is Justin Morrow.
And all my games are live
And on demand
on MLB.tv.
MLB.tv. MLB.tv.
MLB.tv.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
I'm Ashley Russell. Join me each day.
The Cubs lead the Colorado Rockies 5-3. Tim Meadows from Saturday Night Live fame and current star of the Bill Engvall Show is with us in the booth. You did a great job with the stretch.
Thank you.
You took your time.
Yeah.
We had some fun yesterday with some Blackhawks Hall of Famers. They went a little fast, and that's okay. It ends up being very memorable, but
Yeah.
You seem to just kind of soak it all in.
I love performing for an audience. I don't know. I guess I'm a sort of a ham, but this is the biggest crowd I've ever sang in front of. So I had to have the lyrics right here in front of me.
Derek bounced that one off himself, so that's a foul ball. Jorge De La Rosa, who was replaced in the Rockies rotation by Glendon Rush today, is now being used as a reliever. You saw the other changes. Pasednik in left, Sullivan over from left to right. So the Cubs lead by 2. They'll try to add on here. And we have the ladies' man in the booth.
Yeah, what's up? That's right. All good.
What are you drinking today, there, Leon?
Well, I'm just drinking a little Cavatier that I like to mix in with my old style. I like to do it the Chicago way.
This is a good day to be a ladies' man.
It's a beautiful day out here, yeah. It's and there's a lot of beautiful ladies out here. So I don't know what to do. I'm so it's the perfect day.
I want to ask you what your favorite impression is to do.
To do?
Yeah, like somebody really famous. You've done a lot of them.
Well, I guess Sammy Davis was my first impression, like as a kid, that made my family laugh, and I ended up doing it on national television. So
I don't know, man. I guess that's the dude that sort of, he's always there, man. I love the Cubbies. Go Cats, all 9 of you. You're beautiful, man.
That was my first one.
It's the look, too. It's the way you say it, right? Yeah.
I would love to hear Sammy calling this game.
There's a cat at the bat, man. He's going to hit that ball, and then it's going to soar like my career.
Pitch to Ramirez, pounded foul. Go ahead, Sammy.
That's out, man. It went over near the dugout, and I dig the dug out. I made a play on words, man.
Now, how long does it take you to kind of get the essence of a Sammy Davis Jr.? You just got it? One day you just snap, you got it.
It just sort of came to me, like sometimes some are easier than others. O.J. Simpson's a little harder to do because he doesn't have a very distinctive voice, but he has a weird way of talking. He's very very pronounced. It seems like he's talking to a big crowd of people. You know, that's sort of like OJ. And I don't know, who else do I do? I have to think. I'm so nervous.
Let's see. Ike Turner. Listed?
God, yes. Well, God rest his soul. He was more of a joke impression, like not accurate. But I used to do Kevin Nealon was the newscaster, and Ike Turner would always say, "I love you, Kevin Nealon," which he really thought was funny. I love you, Kevin Nealon. I'm sorry I got so mad at you.
How about the first pitch today? You did a nice job.
Oh, man.
Got it there in the air.
Nice follow through.
Thank you. I got a lot of good coaching. I've never been so nervous. That was the most nervous I've ever been in my life.
Even the time you spent at Second City here in Chicago, what was that experience like?
That was a lot easier than throwing out a pitch in front of 41,000 people. That was fun. I really became an actor here. You know, I mean, I really got to work with a lot of really great people. Let me know if I'm interrupting you guys from talking, because I know stuff happens.
Well, if you want to break into Sammy as a play-by-play announcer, and you studied radio and television, right, at Wayne State?
Yeah, went to Wayne State University. I dropped out.
Oh, no, man, it's gone. We got a base hit, man. He's going to second, and he's got the sign to slow up, and he did, man. Oh, my goodness.
That's a double.
Sweet double. I'll have a double if you can make that happen, man.
So Soto's on.
Second double of the game. Numbers 18 and 19 on the season for Gio. Just does get it past Stewart. Hit off his foot. Actually, it looked like his right foot and ricocheted over into that Cubs bullpen area. There's probably about a dozen baseballs laying under that bench. We have no way of knowing if he came up with the game ball.
Here's Kosuke with a runner at second. The Cubs already lead by 2. We're in the 7th inning. Tim Meadows is with us. Tell us about your current sitcom, The Bill Engvall Show.
We have our premiere on June 15th. It's TBS, and Bill Engvall is a very funny comic from he does the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, which people know from that. And it's a very funny family sitcom. I play his best friend, Paul Dufresne. I basically get him into trouble as much as I can. I give him a lot of bad advice, which I kind of do in my real life.
Right, okay. And you were in the Dewey Cox story, Walk Hard.
Yes. I played Sam McPherson, the drummer, who has a problem. He gets Dewey hooked on drugs, no matter whatever the decade is. So whatever the prominent drug of the decade, whether it's marijuana in the 60s or acid or cocaine or whatever it is, my character is a bad influence.
A 1-2 pitch to Kosuke. He swings and misses, and I guess on that reference, we'll say goodbye. Tim, thanks so
on that
much.
Coke reference?
Yeah, we'll move on. Hey, good to have you here. We're big fans, and we look forward to your new show.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Thanks,
Thank
Tim.
you.
5-3 Cubs.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Victor Martinez.
Hey, this is AJ Burnett. All my games are live and on demand on MLB.tv. MLB.tv. MLB.tv.
MLB.tv.
Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching.
You right here in the Bay, man. This is Pastor Mike. Gotta come correct on the mic. Let's get this thing started. Yeah.
It's a new generation, so pass the mic. Pepsi can't left me, better pass it right. I ain't tripping, we independent. We out the trunk, dog, and let me pass this mic. We gotta get it on.
Get on the mic with Mike Pass, only at Pepsi Smash on Yahoo Music.
Voting is now open for the 2008 All-Star Game at Yankee Stadium. Use the ballot on MLB.com to watch video, compare stats, and vote up to 25 times.
Go behind the scenes with your favorite artists at
and then slowly trickled down through the ivy before it fell back onto the warning track. I think if that ball would have hit the wall and came back quickly, Kosuke probably would have had to hold at third base. Nice job by Ryan Dempster to bounce it off the ivy out there.
He meant to do that.
Yeah. It just watches this ball hits up against the fence. One big hop off the warning track, gets up near the top of the ivy. Actually might have hit the basket, and then just slowly trickles down out of the ivy, giving Kosuke enough time to round third base and score.
Neil Kotz worked a 1-2-3 7th. He's back out here to face at least Helton and probably Corey Sullivan and maybe even Ian Stewart. All lefties due up for the Rockies in this half inning. It's Bob Howery up in the bullpen. Bob, you and I have had a lot of conversations with Lou about his use of the bullpen and how he likes to set things up. He likes to have lefties available when you have a right-handed starter and vice versa. And this Neil Kotz addition could be key here with all these lefties coming up today.
Yeah, this is a perfect example right here in this inning. Back-to-back left-handed hitters. I mean, every manager has an idea in their mind how they would like a game to go before the ball game even starts. And who's available out of my bullpen today? How many pitches do I think I can get out of my starter today? What moves is the other manager likely to make late in the ball game, and how will I counteract those? I mean, this is not just willy-nilly throw a pitcher out there on the mound. Every day Lou gets to the ballpark, he talks with Larry Rothschild and Alan Trammell, and they go over the opposing team's roster and who do they have in the lineup today, who do they have available off the bench, what can we do in the late innings to combat that. And so far I think you have to say the game plan has worked pretty well most of the time.
Sullivan gets his first at bat. Came into play left in the 6th. He's now in right.
You know, and a lot of time all that preparation never comes to fruition in the course of a ball game, but on those occasions when it does and you get the right matchup that you're looking for, helps you win a ball game, that gives you tremendous satisfaction as a coach or a manager, that all that hard work you put in before a series or before a ball game, when it happens late in the game and it works exactly the way you planned it, that is a great feeling.
Swing and a miss. That's strike 3 for the first out.
High fastball. I think so many times left-handed pitchers out of the bullpen fall in love with that breaking ball against left-handed hitters. Neil Kotz just overpowered Sullivan right there with a high fastball.
Garrett Atkins announced as the pinch hitter. And Lou's now going to make a change, and I think we're going to see an entirely new battery. Soto is going to leave along with Neil Kotz, and we'll see Howery and Blanco come in. So it's the Heineken call to the pen. The tying run will come to the plate in the form of Garrett Atkins. We'll be back.
Hey, this is Victor Martinez.
Hey, this is AJ Burnett. All my games are live and on demand on MLB.tv. MLB.tv. MLB.tv.
MLB.tv.
Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Well, you right here in the Bay, man. This is Pastor Mike. Gotta come correct on the mic. Let's get this thing started. Yeah.
It's a new generation, so pass the mic. Pepsi can't left me, better pass it right. I ain't tripping, we independent. We out the trunk, dog, and let me pass this mic. We gotta get it on.
Get on the mic with Mike Pass, only at Pepsi Smash on Yahoo Music.
Line today. A slider for a strike from Howry to Atkins. Bob Howry now pitching. And Henry Blanco catching. So Atkins bats for Stewart with Todd Helton at first base. A short lead by Helton there. And it's hit foul by Atkins, who has scuffled lately, coming off a neck/back ailment. And he's just 1 for his last 18 and 0 for his last 16. A kick and the 0-2 pitch hit foul. Thanks to Tim Meadows for stopping by. What a nice guy. And a very funny comedian.
Oh, yeah. I think it's funny, though, a guy like that who's used to performing and he's used to being funny, but you put him on this stage in front of the fans here at Wrigley Field and asked him to sing the 7th inning stretch, and he admitted he was nervous. That's hard to believe. He's got a good voice, too.
Yes, he does.
Exactly what you would expect from the ladies. I would imagine the ladies' man could probably sing some Barry White songs.
Yeah, that would make sense. Well, maybe he'll be singing at a small club in Chicago tonight. Another 0-2. Got it. On the heater, inside corner.
Howry switching things up a little bit. We know he likes to work that outside corner almost exclusively with that fastball, but locks up a good inside fastball hitter right there. Garrett Atkins certainly is aware of Bob Howry's game plan and how he usually pitches right-handed hitters, probably looking for something out over the plate and just couldn't pull the trigger on that inside fastball.
Iannetta pulls it foul on the ground. Bob actually hasn't thrown his fastball as much as he did last year. Up in the mid-80s percent wise. Fastballs versus other pitches. In 2007, he's in the mid to upper 70s this year, and he throws his fastball more to lefties than to righties. You'll see that slider a little bit more often versus right-handed hitters. Maybe a couple of splitters here and there, but not very often. Swing and a miss. $41,529, making a lot of noise. A 1-2 pitch. Low and away on a slider. He's finishing up a very strong month of May, a 1.84 earned run average. He was over 8 in April. Way up in the air to left. Soriano and Reed Johnson getting together. Almost a collision. Johnson made.
I'm Ashley Russell. Join me each day for a daily dose of top sports news. With scores, polls, and the latest highlights, the Yahoo Sports Minute keeps you up to date and in the know in no time flat. Watch the Yahoo Sports Minute each day on Yahoo Sports.
Go behind the scenes with your favorite artists at Pepsi Smash on Yahoo Music.
What up, this is Big Snoop D-O Double G, and you're watching another side of Snoop Dogg on Pepsi Smash. Hustle, 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 come on. If you play for Coach Snoop, you got to be good, real good, in school and on the field. My least favorite part would definitely be losing, and the favorite part would be seeing the kids
leading again. And they've come from behind again, although this time they did it early with a 3-run second after the Rockies scored twice in the top of that inning. Garrett Atkins stays in to man the hot corner. De La Rosa still pitching. Henry Blanco hit a big home run to help spark that comeback yesterday. Up at 353. Well, Marmol's the closer today. Cubs want to stay away from Kerry Wood just because he's worked so much here on this homestand. Kerry will be back tomorrow. Not a bad backup plan.
No. Plan B's pretty good. Plan C's pretty good for that matter, the way Bob Howard's been throwing the ball lately.
The home run for Henry was his first since September 22nd, 2006. At Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati off of left-hander Chris Mahalik.
Oh boy, Henry Blanco has been the perfect secret weapon this year. You expect your backup catcher to be a strong catch and throw guy, and Henry is every bit of that.
And he strikes out to start the bottom of the 8th. Bree Johnson will now step in. Here's the Danley's upcoming schedule. We're back with you here on Comcast Sportsnet Monday and Tuesday night from San Diego, California. We'll be on Plus to start the Dodgers series on Thursday. So we hope to avoid, well, we will avoid the May Gray in San Diego by a couple of days. Will we be able to get around the June gloom?
I doubt it. I think that's a pretty regular occurrence there. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given it a name. But even in the gloom, it's fun to play down in San Diego.
Talking with a San Diego native, Alan Trammell, he said, you go 7 or 8 miles inland, there's no June gloom.
Right.
Very sunny, but that close to the water, we get a lot of overcast skies and some hazy conditions.
In that respect, very similar to the San Francisco Bay Area. You get a lot of that coastal fog that rolls in, and some days burns off late in the afternoon. Other days it stays all day, but you go across the bay on the Oakland side and sun shining brightly. Beautiful day for a ball game.
3-0 pitch. Johnson takes. Knee-high fastball strike. There's ball 4. And the Brenleys are in attendance. Great to see Joan and Michael and his friend Alyssa.
Spending the weekend here with Dad in Chicago. We're having a great time. What's better than coming to Wrigley Field in the sunshine watching a ball game?
Michael getting ready for the amateur draft coming up. Less than a week away.
Obviously, Mom had a new camera. Boy, are we glad we got her that.
Iannetta can't find it. Johnson with that nice secondary lead, able to get to second base, no problem, on a wild pitch.
Ball doesn't get that far away, but Iannetta had no idea where it was. He looked straight back initially and then realized that ball had trickled over toward the visitors' dugout, but Reed Johnson saw it before Iannetta did and was able to advance.
Cold foul. Yesterday, Carlos Marmol was about as dominating as we've seen him, and that's saying something. As great as he's been as a short reliever, he threw 10 pitches, 9 were strikes, 3 strikeouts, all of the looking variety, all on sliders.
I think contact was only made on 1 pitch, a fastball that was fouled straight back. Just ridiculously filthy yesterday.
And since we had the ladies' man in here earlier, and we mentioned a couple of bachelor parties, there is a bachelorette party in the ballpark. The Nicole Graham party. Hope they're enjoying themselves as Helton will take it unassisted.
I really don't have any advice for the future brides or the future grooms.
So are you the person in the family, if like the camera breaks or the new laptop has a malfunction, they all call you?
Well, I'm the only one that ever reads the instruction manual or the booklet that comes with the various articles. So yeah, if something's wrong, the flash doesn't go off. What's wrong with this stupid thing? I've got to dig through the book and okay, troubleshoot it.
Well, that one really got away, and what, it hit Soriano?
I think it hit him in the foot.
Okay, that explains why that ball rocketed back to the bricks. That's actually a break for the Rockies as Johnson has to go back to third.
Ooh. Right off the toe of the left foot, shot over toward that first base dugout. Thought the Cubs were going to get a run out of it initially, but first and third now for Ryan Theriot.
Clint Hurdle out, and he's going to make a change. The Heineken call to the pen will bring right-hander Jason Grilli into the ballgame. First and third, 2 outs. Cubs lead 5-3.
Hey, this is Dustin Pedroia.
Hey, this is John Main. All of my games are live.
Live and on demand on MLB.tv. On MLB.tv.
MLB.tv. MLB.tv.
Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching. Mike Schmidt, April 18th, 1987, 500. Ernie Banks, May 12th, 1970, 500. Harmon Killebrew, August 10th, 1971. Willie McCovey, June 30th.
Hey, this is Phil Hughes. Hey, this is DJ Upton. And all my games are live on MLB.tv. Live and on demand on MLB.tv. MLB.tv. MLB.tv.
MLB.tv.
Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching. Willie Mays, September 22nd, 1969, 600. Babe Ruth, August 21st, 1931, 600. Hank Aaron, April 27th, 1971.
Hey, this is Dustin Pedroia.
Hey, this is John Main. All of my games are live.
Live and on demand on MLB.tv. On MLB.tv. MLB.tv.
MLB.tv.
Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Stay on top of all the NBA playoff action with Yahoo Sports. Watch thrilling up-to-the-minute highlights. Go behind the scenes.
If you have a chance to put a team away in a game, you got to do it, especially in the playoffs.
And get expert analysis.
Against the San Francisco Giants. Jason Grilli is now pitching, first and third. Soriano runs, and no throw to second base. Fourth steal for Soriano. That's good to see him on the move.
And nobody breaks to cover second base for the Rockies. Neither middle infielder made any move whatsoever to the bag at second base. Chris Iannetta was coming out of the chute ready to throw, but he didn't have anybody at the bag to throw to.
My guess is the Rockies were surprised that Soriano ran, and with 2 outs, might have been protecting against contact by Terrio. So it's 2-0 on him. He really steps off the rubber. Recently made some comments about his former team, the Tigers, that drew a heated reaction from Jim Leland. Basically told Grilli to worry about his current team. Iannetta is going to go out. Grilli told the USA Today he felt the chemistry in Detroit was hurt by the departure of guys like Sean Casey, and Leland replied to reporters, Grilli ought to worry about the Rockies, and then he said, look, he's no longer here because he didn't pitch well. But Jim didn't stop there. He got on a roll about how some of his current players need to look in the mirror instead of, as he put it, popping off in the papers. On a tough couple of months for the Tigers. They were the fashionable pick to win the American League. Take the Central and just go on and win the World Series.
They've started to play a little better recently, but still find themselves 7 games behind the White Sox in that AL Central Division.
3-0 Ontario with Lee on deck. Ball 4, they're loaded. Really was later quoted in the Rocky Mountain News. He was simply asked about his old team and was comparing this year's team to the 06 club and how the roster has changed, but I'm sure Jason probably won't comment on his former teams from now on. Fans are up. Here's the pitch to Lee. Inside corner, strike. Two walks and a hit batter in the inning, and they're loaded up for Lee. Check swing. He went. Jerry Crawford with a call at first.
We have the benefit of the replay. Jerry Crawford does not. It was close.
Oh, 2 pitch. Buried. Breaking ball, 1-2. Marmol now really cranking it up in the Cubs pen, getting ready for the ninth. Filling in for Kerry Wood today. Right now it's a safe spot, but a big fly here with a bases loaded could really put it out of reach. It's not going to happen, called strike 3. So it really gets out of it. And here comes the ninth. Marmol coming on. 5-3 Cubs.
Hey, this is Dustin Pedroia.
Hey, this is John Maine.
All of my games are live. Live and on demand on MLB.tv. On MLB.tv. MLB.tv.
MLB.tv.
Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Even when you can't watch your favorite team, you can know what's happening with MLB.com's mobile team alerts, now including video alerts for your video-enabled phone. You'll get video highlights minutes after they happen. Text messages on home runs, lead changes, and more. Everything you need to stay informed throughout the season for just $3.99 per month. Sign up now and pick your favorite team. Text MLB to 65246. For complete details, go to MLB.com/mobile.
Hey, this is Phil Hughes.
Hey, this is DJ Upton. And all my games are live on MLB.tv. Live and on demand on MLB.tv.
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 Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Welcome to the new and improved MLB.com. Experience the game like never before with MLB.com's Game Day. Real-time pitch type and in-game video highlights moments after they happen. Have those same highlights sent straight to your video-enabled phone with MLB.com's mobile team alert. And if you can't get to the game, watch every out-of-market game this season live with high-quality streaming video exclusively on MLB.tv. Only on MLB.com, where baseball is always on.
Hey, this is James Shields. Hey, this is Victor Martinez. And all my games are live and on demand on MLB.tv. MLB.tv. On MLB.tv.
MLB.tv.
Keep watching. Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Are you an adrenaline junkie? At Grind TV on Yahoo.
And he starts Jonathan Herrera, switch hitter, with ball one. One thing we have seen, not yesterday, but a couple of previous outings for Carlos, slow starts in the inning and then a very strong finish. 2-0 the count.
What was that?
He's trying to save it for Ryan Dempster. 3-0.
Carlos just getting underneath the ball a little bit right now. That fastball is sailing on him, staying up there around the belt or even a little bit higher.
You know, Herrera will be taking all the way. There's the first strike. Inside corner.
See, Henry sets up away. The pitch is back to the inside corner, even though he has to reach all the way across his body. It's right there in front of James Hoy. Got a good look at it, called the strike.
Herrera just got a piece, and some umpires won't give you that pitch if the catcher has to reach that far. 52 strikeouts already for Marmol. That leads all relievers along with the 16 holds. And he's not trying to hold it, he's trying to save it today. Another 3-2. Pulled foul into the upper deck. Nicely done in the front row. Marmol's only allowed 14 hits and 116 official at bats. Swing and a miss on the slider. He went 3-0 on Herrera. Came back to strike him out.
Oh, that's just a vicious pitch. Not only the side-to-side movement, but more importantly, how much that ball dive bombs as it gets into the hitting area. Invariably, those left-handed hitters see that ball down and in, which is a happy zone. But by the time they get the bat there, the baseball is gone.
Strike one on Quintanilla. The Cubs are looking for their 6th straight win. The Rockies trying to avoid their 6th straight loss in what would be their 11th consecutive defeat on the road. The Rockies are in the middle of an interesting stretch. 2nd of 4 straight series in 4 different time zones. That's deep. Sending Fukudome back to the warning track. He's going to leap. He caught it right near the 368 for the out. And he'll keep the tying run on deck. What a catch by Kosuke.
I didn't think that ball had any chance of staying in the ballpark. Oh, such great field awareness. He knows where he is all the time. Gets back there, makes a leap, puts the right hand out to protect himself against the bricks. Nicely done.
Fans will stay on their feet as Marmol tries to get Pasetnik. That was a key out. Well, Kosuke has his glasses on his cap, but he can do whatever he wants. The way he plays defense out there.
Just catch it.
Sednick probably takes. He does. Strike one, 2-1.
That shows you the confidence that Carlos Marmol has in that slider. A 2-0 count. 99 times out of 100, a pitcher's just going to lay a fastball down the middle of the plate.
Another one deep. And Kosuke can't catch this one. It's a home run. But thankfully he caught the last one. It's now 5-4. So the guy known as Scotty Pods with a rare home run, just his 28th career home run. First this season. He hit 2 last year for the White Sox.
Fastball inner third of the plate, and Pasetnik got more of his than Quintanilla did. Got it up into that wind and rode it a couple rows up into the bleachers.
That's the 3rd home run for the Rockies, and now it's Taveras, slider, strike. Your Vitorialba's on deck in the pitcher's spot. He's hoping Taveras can keep the Rockies alive. Two strikes. Cubs win. Caught looking on the slider. Marmol gets the save, and the Cubs win another tight one. The final today, 5-4. And a chance now for a homestand sweep tomorrow. How about Ryan Dempster, Bob? He's 7-0 at Wrigley Field here in 2008.
Had to work hard to get victory number 7 here at Wrigley Field today. Came out of the ball game after 5 innings and 93 pitches, but as we like to say, he gave his team a chance to win today, and the offense was up to the task.
So the Cubs will go into June with the best record in baseball for the first time since their last championship season of 1908. They won all 3 against the Dodgers. They've taken the first 3 in this series, and Josh Moore is down on the field.
Yeah, Len, I've got Reed Johnson here. I don't know what to ask you because you guys won this one from in front for a change. Has to feel a little bit different.
Yeah, it was good. We were, we definitely battled, and I thought that, the Rockies pitched pretty well today, and we had to scrap for everything we got. We were just fortunate to, pick up those runners in scoring position.
You guys also played some great defense today. You're catching the 2nd, and Kosuke's there in the 9th. Talk about both those plays.
Well, you know what? I think when your pitchers are working quick, like Demp always works quick, Zambrano always works quick, you're going to see good defense behind those guys. And, I think that, that's really the reason those guys are working quick, throwing strikes, and, guys are putting the ball in play. It makes it easy for the defense.
We also saw a couple of the Rockies struggle out there. It was a windy day yesterday, too. How challenging is center field when the wind is blowing as hard as it has the last 2 days?
It's challenging, from a sun standpoint and a wind standpoint, even when you're, you play at home here every day. And, for those guys that come in off the road, it makes it even tougher. They're not used to those conditions. So, I'm lucky that we can take advantage of that.
Well, 6 for 6 so far on this homestand. I'm sure you guys go in it tomorrow looking for the sweep of an entire week.
Yeah, we're going to have our work cut out for us again. And, we'll just keep trying to battle and put balls in play, and hopefully we can capitalize with those runners in scoring position like we have been.
Absolutely, you guys have been. Congratulations on that.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
That's Reed Johnson. Another win for the Cubs. Had a beautiful day here at Wrigley Field, guys.
Josh, thanks so much. And oh, by the way, another go-ahead hit for Alfonso Soriano. He just continues to come up with big hits here at home. An excellent month of May for Soriano. He had 10 home runs here in May. And let's check in on our Nissan Drive. The Cubs went on top on this swing in the bottom of the second.
Number 12 on the year for Alfonso Soriano came to the opposite field. I talked about it throughout the early part of the ball game. A great approach offensively today by the Cubs.
So Ryan Dempster's now 7-2 on the season. All 7 of his wins have come here at Wrigley Field. Glendon Rush took the loss. He's 1-3. Marmol with his 3rd save. And our Chevy player of the game is Ryan Dempster. As Bob said, it was a battle today. He went just the minimum 5. But he left with the lead, and he got the win because the bullpen held the Rockies.
Now the bullpen has really been the unsung hero throughout this homestand for the Cubs. They've come in and gotten some huge outs. Marmol and Woody doing it with flash, but the other guys very workmanlike the way they go about their business.
Big RBI double for Dempster. And he also scored the tying run on the home run by Soriano, who scored the ultimate game-winning run. Well, what a day. What a homestand it's been. And the Cubs will go for the sweep tomorrow. The scheduled pitchers, right-hander Ubaldo Jimenez, 1-5 with a 5.37. Sean Gallagher for the Cubs, 2-1 with a 4.50 ERA. So that'll do it for our game coverage. Stay tuned for post-game live. The final score today: the Cubs 5, the Rockies 4. Our next Cubs telecast here on Comcast Sportsnet will be Monday night from San Diego. Bob and I will hit the air at 9 o'clock. Cubs pregame live starts at 8:30. In-game scoring provided by ScorePad. And now for Bob, for Josh Mora, Bob Albrecht, Dave Turner, Tamara Anderson, and our great crew, this is Len Casper. You've been watching Chicago Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.